Welcome to Waiting Tables Podcast, sponsored by Briscato Law, where we share stories of people in our community who live to serve others.
I'm getting older, John. What's going on there?
At least you're not going bald.
Well,
How'd you keep your hair?
I don't know. I think it's a genetic thing, but it's topical. It may happen. It may just take a little while longer. But, at some point we all end up in the same place no matter what. So it really doesn't matter. So that's it. What we do between here and then is the dance we're doing.
It sounds like a literary quote from
There you go.
like Ralph Waldo Emerson or something.
Ralph
like
Brockman. Yeah.
Well, hey, man.
I still chuckle last time. Yeah, man, we'll maybe steer clear of that one too. But that time when we were, I think it was at the Okaloosa. Look at you.
I got you a little
Okay.
holiday happy there.
Well, thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Well, I am going to
Something to
reciprocate.
All right, look at that.
Got something there
Got
for
some
you.
Swag.
You
Well,
got some
I wanna
swag?
know what it is.
I do too. Can we both open our
Let's
swag
open
here?
it up, man.
Okay. All right. I actually have an official bucket. Oh man, this is awesome, John. You got to get in there and pull it out, and then yeah. Just worry about the envelope for now. Don't worry about all that stuff in there. What you got going on here, man?
What's going on here?
Hey, got to open that up. Pull that out of there. Open that envelope up.
We got a flyer here. Wait a minute. What's this flyer here?
No, that's the latest and greatest. Well, let's focus on the present for now.
Okay, all right.
That's what you want. We'll talk about the flyer in another time, or maybe later on.
What's
this
this about a
podcast.
rate increase?
He read right through the bullshit, didn't he? Just nailed it. Yeah, it's good. It's good. But you enjoy. Look at all this swag.
Holy
Look at that.
crap.
What all you got there?
Delta Biscuit,
Delta Biscuit.
All right,
Fantastic
that's what I'm
local
talking about.
restaurant. That's local too.
Flying Tiger,
Another local jewel. Yep.
Beef and Barrel,
Another local gym.
and Apero.
All 4 local gyms that you can take and go and enjoy something from us on.
I had an espresso martini at Apero.
I've heard good things.
It was freaking dynamite.
Was it good?
It was so good.
They take pride in their cocktails there and their food and
They do. It's got like this frothy
Yeah.
thing at the top. It's like eating cake,
yeah,
And
Yeah.
it was. I don't know if it's like an egg white or how they do it, but it was
delicious.
amazing.
Yeah. Well, we
amazing.
went Friday night. Anyway, these are all of our restaurant partners that support our efforts, much like you. They don't, at any rate. So go enjoy.
Yeah, man.
And I got a bottle of champagne here, bottle of Brut. You pick that's great, man. You got some chocolates in there?
Is it chocolate?
What else? I'll get up in here. Twisty tie?
I don't even know what it is.
All right, well, let's find out.
It's all Cassie, by the way.
All right. Well, tell Cassie thank you. I saw her the other day, and for those people that are we airing here?
Yeah, we're rolling.
All right. Well, I told Cassie thanks so much, and if you would entertain us again, we'd love to throw another party at your house this summer because that was probably the coolest thing I think we've ever done with this thing.
Well, how did she respond?
She said it was awesome.
Okay, good.
Because the reason I thought I shut that off. Sorry about that. The reason she said it was awesome was because you did a bunch of things around the house that hadn't been done in a while. And I said, well, that could be a perfect marketing pitch for us. It is, man. This is great. Got champagne, chocolate. I'm going to chill it tonight and make my wife happy because she's been.
It sounded like
she
there
is-
could be something to celebrate.
I'm going to put this to the side and cross our fingers for that. And I really hope it happens because, at any rate, we'll just keep our fingers crossed on that one and hope it happens. But thank you, man. I appreciate all you've done to support this endeavor over the past year and more than that, honestly. But you've watched the evolution of it, which is kind of an interesting thing. It's different. And it's something different for this area, and it's something different for really anywhere. So I appreciate it, man. What started with parties has now evolved into video production plus parties and doing, content on community stuff. And you get it.
It's kind of like it's almost like I feel like it's like local news, but not like the way
traditional.
it's been done for the last, 75 years.
Right. Yeah.
And still
And
done.
that's kind of what we're trying to get to, but it's baby steps, man. They had it figured out and then the internet came and blew everything up. into little pieces. And so what we're trying to do is to take those little pieces and tell stories and get sponsors by it, but also give them a value outside of just telling those stories. Whether it be something specifically we do for business, but then outside of that, and ironically, we put those on social channels, right? But a big part of what we do is try to bring people together, with the events that we do.
Yeah.
And I think so. It's we're using modern technology to try to get people to come out and support local businesses. Your business who supports local businesses, go to events, whether it's schools, sports. And of course, our things that, at the root of it was the food, music, and just bringing people together for a good time. So that's kind of been at the root of this thing since I started with it some 20 years ago, monkeying with this project, man. So
Wow.
it's
been going on that long.
It started, I moved back here.
Give us the evolution, because I didn't really think about it. Like, I've been to your parties before, like, I knew anything about the Ramble or whatever.
All right, so I'll try to give you. It started when I first moved back to Monroe around 20 years ago. I had just finished I was a musician at the time, and I used to write songs and play music, and I just had my first child, my wife and I, and we moved back here. But before that, I was working on a documentary on the Floribama, which at that time was a singer-songwriter kind of oasis on the Florida-Alabama border. The owner of it at that time was hugely committed to songwriters. You could go in there on a random Tuesday, and there would be music playing at 3-4 different bars sprawled all throughout this place. And I grew up as a kid. I was the youngest of 4, and my parents would take us down there in the summer, and they had a place not far from there. So we'd sneak in the summertime, and that's kind of the music. Just listen to the music. And I'm sitting there listening to just songwriters who wrote
no beer
songs
drinking at all.
Oh, plenty of bushwhackers, all this. And I'm a kid sneaking in there, but that, the place still allows that. And and the owner at the time, he was an old teacher turned hippie, turned just an eclectic guy, but he realized that, nothing brings people together better than music. It cuts through the bullshit. No matter your political affiliation, whether you're left, right, up, down, white, black, whatever, it breaks down those barriers. And he did a great job of it, because you could sit there, and this was before everything was really politically divisive as it is today. And you could have some very conservative person sitting next to somebody very liberal, and all of them just having a good time, right? And then it's not like you can't have that anymore. I think what we're getting fed on traditional media is really promoting a larger divide that's non-existent. It is for some that buy into it, but he did that, and I loved it because it was a place that could bring people together from all walks of life. And so, at any rate, at the time I did that documentary, I was working at a bank that was giving loans to developers that were kind of tearing down those old houses and condos and putting up big things. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to try to tell this story before it gets torn down or this guy that started it dies. So we produced a documentary on it. And at the end of our production, we went through like a whole season with them. A couple guys that were my neighbors helped me with it. And at any rate, the place got just leveled by Hurricane Ivan. And and so we got all the footage of that from like the Weather Channel and put it together and got this documentary. And then, and put it out there and, sold it in DVDs at the time. But then we found that there's not too much of a market for,
One-off
documentaries on songwriters' havens on the Florida-Alabama border. But it was a hell of a process.
Gas stations like...
That's it, man. I was selling them out of the Floribama, ironically enough. Lots of them out of the Floribama. But I moved back here. And a friend of mine, Arthur Stewart, at the time I moved back here, said, Allan, they're doing this thing in Alexandria. And they have these musicians, and they book them. It's called the Alexandria Music Project. And it's really cool. They do it a couple times a year, and it gets people out on the river in Alexandria. You want to try it? I was like, sure, let's give it a whirl. So we reached out to he and I were both musicians at the time, and we were like 29 years old, right? Like starting our professional careers. I moved back here to be a home builder at the time. So like, my day gig was building the houses in Bell Point, where we all live. And, but I had still this, P.T. Barnum part of me that's like, that's the creative side. So, we moved back, I just finished the documentary, falling in love with promoting musicians and all that jazz. I'm not going to be a musician because I got kids, I got to pay bills. So I'm not going to hit the road. And that's not happening at this point in my life, but I can still dabble with it. So we started this thing called the North Delta Music Project downtown on the river, which at the point that river market wasn't even there then. So it was just a parking lot right in front of the old courthouse.
Yeah.
And we did a series, I think 2 years in a row, spring and a fall series. And we got sponsors, just lots of friends that would put up, and we'd put them a little, now they had that bridge out there where you can kind of walk along the river, but they didn't have the big tower and all that formal structure. So you still had that thing down there, and we put our sponsors down there.
What year was this now?
My daughter is 19, and so this is around 06.
06?
Yeah, somewhere around there. And so we did that a couple of years. And then I was still playing a little music, and my friend Brad Arnder was an artist here in town. He actually had done some photos for a CD that I put about way back when, as well as the documentary thing.
He had a studio back in the day. Does he still have that studio?
No, he's moved out.
Yeah.
And so his studio was on what is now Art Alley.
Studio. Yeah.
Okay. And so I was the one to the right, if you're facing his old studio, which now has tons of galleries. And so he and I and this guy, Edmund Williams, upstairs, kind of put the idea together. When I was in Charlotte living there, before we moved back to Monroe, they had these art crawls that they would do. I think it was every month. And so I pitched the idea to them. I was like, hey, why don't we try to do something similar here, maybe every other month, because Monroe might not have enough for it. And so we started those. Brad would book the artist. He was a photographer and would book the artist at his place. Edmund upstairs was an artist. I was a musician, and I also had a Moe's Southwest Grill at the time, which was
I remember.
You remember Moe's? Hey, welcome to Moe's.
You used to have a guy that was yours, right?
Yeah.
You used to have a guy that
I was its.
Who was the guy that used to come play? He passed away.
We'd do a bunch of it. So, we had
Long
Billy
hair.
would play. Then you had, you had Johnny O'Neill.
Johnny O'Neill.
Yeah.
Johnny O'Neill.
we had an abundance of music. We threw the long ball there at the end. We had a lot of live music going on regularly for a taco joint there for a while. But at the same time, I was doing well building stuff, and I was building some apartments and houses, and realized that the restaurant career, how much that takes. It's, I got mad respect for anybody that can make a good living.
If you can do it, you're a magician.
Yeah.
You're
there.
Like Joey Trappy and, Corey Barr and, all those guys, local guys. I shouldn't have started naming names, because now I need to name every guy that owns a restaurant in town. But,
it's a lot.
It's amazing what they've done.
Yeah.
And the margins are so tight. Hell, you go to the grocery store and get steaks for your family and get sides and get everything you need to make everything and get that bill at the grocery store, or go to Parrish and buy everybody a steak.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any cheaper going to the grocery store.
No.
It's just not.
It's not, unless you do it for 30 people.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. Or 50 or 60 or 70 or whatever. But they, hats off to them. I realized that wasn't, I think we did it for a couple of years, and then to get it to break even, I was running around caterings all around town, and then, building houses and building apartments at the same time. Got 2 kids at the house. It was just it was a madhouse back in the day. Wow. But somehow I found time to do the art crawls that we did, and we'd sling the burritos. I'd pick guitar, and Brad would book the artists, and that thing's still going today, man. So, to answer your question, going back 20 years, 20 years ago was one of those things that me and Arthur Stewart were doing with the North Delta Music Project. And 2 years goes by, and we start the art crawls. And then somewhere therein, Kenny Bill Stinson's a musician from Monroe, grew up around this area, played with, a lot of the greats. At any rate, he's a remarkable guy, and he knew these people that owned this brand called the Louisiana Hayride. And I wasn't very familiar with it at the time, but I started, And it's where essentially Elvis, Johnny Cash, all the original outlaws that weren't really Grand Ole Opry-esque would go to Shreveport and play this radio show. And the lady that owned the brand to it back then, I was introduced to her and went to a show over at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium via Kenny Bill, and was just kind of mesmerized with it. I was like, wow, this would be an amazing thing to try to recreate this brand as a TV series, like with Americana musicians, blues artists, et cetera. And so I pitched the idea tour for it. And we did a show over in Ruston at the Dixie Theater at the time. I don't know, it's 13 years ago or so, and filled it up. Monty Russell helped me book the musicians. I promoted the heck out of it, put a friggin' circus tent outside because Ruston liquor laws back then were a little strange, but it's definitely changed up a lot now because, like, you know, downtown Ruston's got a lot going on.
Their mayor figured it out. He was like,
yeah,
look, we need to be more inclusive.
That's it. Yeah, and I was actually over there today. I went to Utility Brewing, talked to the owner there, and went and met the chamber directors at the Ruston Chamber, Ruston Lincoln Chamber, and did a video piece with them. And so it's a lot of good things happening. They're actually open. I think the Holyfield family is working on a restaurant over there right now.
Is it a Delta Biscuit or is it something different?
Word on the street, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not positive, but that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But they're definitely working on a historic building. It's right across from where Utility is.
Utilities,
Yeah.
It's old federal post office.
It's it. Yeah.
It's a beautiful building.
And that whole area, man.
That building is just like gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, I ran into Lisa the other day. I was like, that was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like
It's extensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, they're doing great things, man. You got the mayor, you got the university, you got the downtown, you got them all marching in the same direction. And,
Where'd you go to school?
I was in Neville grad. I was a River Oaks kid. So I was River Oaks K through 8. And then I went to Neville for high school and kind of got my, the Neville bug bit me somewhere between my 8th and 9th grade year. My parents went out of town one summer, and I was ran into a bunch of kids that would be at Neville that summer, and next thing you know, I got absorbed by the wave. Yeah. But at that time, like my River Oaks class, it got down to like 9 kids, many of which I'd been in school with since kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And then when I met this like sea of people, and we all kind of had one of them summers, you know, all on bicycles and swimming in the bayous and being kids.
Was that Is Caroline your age, or is she?
She's a year younger. So yeah, there's backstory even there, man. Yeah, so Caroline's my wife.
Girls will.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, so I'm in
Something
6th grade at River Oaks, and this new group of girls came into River Oaks, 3 of them, and Caroline was one of them, and I was like, wow, this girl's really pretty, and then so. But then I went to 7th grade. At any rate, we became kind of pseudo boyfriend girlfriend then. And then I actually, before that next weekend, I went to church at Grace Episcopal, and it was a confirmation thing that kids would do. You know, at 12 years old, it's kind of coming of age in the Episcopal Church, which is like Catholic Light.
Catholic
Light, if you will. Yeah. So I'm in my confirmation class, and then all of a sudden she walks in. So it's like, you know, double whammy that week. And then I go to 7th grade, and she ends up going back to Lee Junior High. But I always like, man, that girl's really something else. So we stayed in touch, and then high school came around, and she ended up in high school, and we dated, and then we'd break up, and we'd date, we'd break up, and you know, it was. And then we went to college, and same thing, you know, went to different colleges, and then ended up all back together.
Where'd y'all go?
I started at Ole Miss. And I was there for a year and a half, and then had a little more fun my sophomore first semester than I should have had. And my parents gave me the option to either go to LSU or Ole Miss, and I mean LSU or ULM. And so I'm probably one of the only people that ever went to LSU to get their act together. and it happened. It really did. I went down.
That's what Lane Kiffin's doing right now.
I think so. Yeah, we hope so. So I got to split my family. I got half Ole Miss, half LSU. My mom met at Ole Miss. My brother's an LSU guy. My granddad was an LSU guy. So at any rate, so there's this hysterical like divide in our family with it. And man, you talk about something that just put a chasm in the family mix right there with that whole thing, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is you talking about Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, with Kiffin doing his thing. I mean, just boom, he's out. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Like what? I mean, what would anybody else do?
I don't know. They got to figure out a way to change the rules of the game so that somebody can't leave like mid 4th quarter.
I mean,
you know,
like
going down for the winning touchdown. All of a sudden, I'm out. Y'all can have this. Yeah. By the way, hey coaches, you come with me. If not, yeah, it was. Yeah,
and the players.
It's nasty, man.
Yeah, not just the coaches, the players too.
I know. Yeah. So it's a long-winded story that kind of comes, John, back to the idea, the common denominator in all those things was putting on events, bring people together. Well, the first one we did when we did on the river and had a successful deal with 500-600 people out there. It was a free concert. It wasn't something to make money, but just when you're back there and you get to see the sea of people all getting along, breaking bread, listening to music, it's like, man, I like this,
Yeah.
It gives me purpose, if you will, because I'm good at it. It's something that I can do, and I believe in it because it's like, it kind of breaks down barriers, if you will. And then we went and did that thing in Ruston, same thing, packed theater full of people. I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. And I pitched to the Hayride people when we filled that thing up in Ruston to be their partner and try to revive the brand, and they didn't accept. And okay, so I moved to Nashville to try to create a TV show around songwriters and and whatnot. And it didn't work out, but I met a guy there who was successful in that business. And when I moved back home a few years later, I started throwing parties out at our barn. This is like 2015, 2016. And I called Corey Barr and said, no, first it was a musician. It was Kevin Gordon. He was coming to play in from Nashville. And I called Corey, said, hey man, could you cook up some food for people and we'll sell this thing? And Corey's like, sure. And next thing you know, we had a bunch of people out there. And I called one of my friends who was an artist, Caroline Youngblood, and said, hey, come stick your stuff at the barn if you'd like. She's like, absolutely. And so that was really successful. And we did another one, and it was another one. And, a bunch of people would come out. And then I got the idea. I was like, well, maybe if I filmed this and kind of told the stories of the chef, the music, the artist, it would be interesting. And so I talked to my buddy in Nashville, who was my mentor, who said, man, you're already doing all the work. All you got to do is just film it. And I didn't know much about, a lot of this stuff before, even the Floribama stuff, I was working, with pros that knew how to do it. And I was kind of putting the pieces together and, didn't know this side of it, if you will.
When you say this side of it, you mean
the
like
production, the editing. I mean, I knew a little bit about it, but not enough to be like, hey, this is mine, whatnot. I could produce it, right? Could put it together, get the right people, and then make it happen. And then, and finish it, if you will. Kind of like being the home builder. You're not laying on the floor, but you're, quote, building and selling the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That what.
Yeah.
The parts that.
That's right.
Make it look pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how to put it together and you know how to finish it and whatnot. And so I reached out to my buddy in Nashville, told him what we were doing at the barn and said, what do you think? He said, shit, just film it, get it done and send it to, PBS and see what they think. And we did that, and they aired it, and we did like 2 or 3 of those, and they were like big productions, like 500-600 people out there. And, I was paying a substantial amount of the proceeds to a film crew that was doing the film work and did a fantastic job on it, but it wasn't enough to sustain the project. It just couldn't make it. And you're doing all this Herculean work, which was a lot of work, but you're losing money too. So I did the brakes on it around 2016. We also had a big flood here that flooded a lot of our multifamily properties, which is my primary job, if you will. And so I had to really focus on that for a couple of years of like,
Are you talking about the flood in 2016?
Yeah. Okay. So we hit the brakes on the big barn parties and all that stuff around them because we had, I don't know.
I didn't put that together. As
400 or 500 units flood in the Monroe. And we had some in Baton Rouge and Livingston Parish that flooded as well. So
I remember that. There was a big Baton Rouge flood at around the same time.
Yeah, so we had the one here in that spring, and then we had the one there in that fall. And we were all hands on deck with work for a couple of years trying to, patch that all back together after that.
A lot of my happy's distracting us.
He's wanting to be in here with us. Yeah.
Come on in here. You want to come in here?
Yeah. Hey, man. How are you? You good? His last time I was here, I saw him here. Yeah, look at this.
We've got another mic.
We're exchanging. Yeah, that's good. Good. Yeah. How about it? No.
I was trying to get him to drink with me. He was like, I'm going to go work out.
Yeah. I got to do it. I know. I'm all right. Trying to do good things. It's all right. Trying, but we'll see. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you and your tribe. Thank you. Your dad good?
He's the same.
And slowed down? Okay. Good deal.
He's rocking
Okay. Right on. Well, tell them hello. Yeah, we're going down memory lane here. It's a long one. I'm not sure where to jump out. I'm weaving in and out of the bushes and across the fields and trying to get back on track. But is any of this making sense?
People watching this.
Okay, perfect.
This
Good.
part
Oh,
definitely
that's
not.
right, because you're not on
I
camera.
think this is already
Okay.
getting cut, so it's
Yeah, I just,
Okay. Yeah. Good seeing you, bud. Okay. All right. What were we talking about?
talking about insurance claims.
Insurance claims. That's right. Yeah, it's good old stuff.
This is good. This is good.
Well, there
common-
was
this is
insurance
good
claims.
common ground for me.
It was a
Yeah.
flood.
Did you
There
need
was a
lawyer?
lot of stuff. We probably could have used a lawyer at the time. Think we
Probably had one.
we had a lot of insurance losses that we had to get rebuilt, and then so the fund stopped for a little while, and any rate, and then COVID hit, and the fund really stopped
What a
around the
weird-
same time. And so around then, the little dreamer in me starts, thinking about this thing and start, thinking about it. And it's something I'd always kind of toyed around with, this thing being a subscription club where it puts on events for people, because those big barn parties that we were doing would lose like $3,500 to $5,000 a pop.
Wow.
Yeah, and you're doing all that. And I'm
still-
still selling tickets $75 a piece, selling it for like 500 tickets. All of a sudden it's like a $33,000, party, but you're losing $3,500 or $5,000 on
Yeah.
it. It's like,
That doesn't work.
doesn't math up, man. Not for the amount of work. So I was trying to figure
Had
out
a great
way.
time though.
Good time, a lot of work. But and then you sit back, you're like, is this what I want to do for a good time, right? Like, or could it be more smartly done? So the idea of trying to come up with a way to spread the work, come up with a way to fund the losses on having these smaller events is what this is how this all came about. And it was during COVID, and started kicking the idea around with some people. And then finally just like, you don't know until you just go. And so we did it, and I appreciate you supporting it. And, I think we're right at about 100 households that are supporting it, and have been, and it's great, man. But and it's not just the events though. It's because I see that there is also a need on the media side of things of keeping people informed and of what's happening. It
Yeah, like I
seems
just saw you did a video for the Forsyth
Yeah,
road construction.
that's right. Yeah,
joyous event
yeah,
that's
that's
going
right.
on.
Yes.
I made a comment
Yeah.
on Facebook, and here comes Friday. Like, well, it's gonna make that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I was trying to get political.
but the reason is, there are things that are happening that we don't know about, and or people want to know about it.
Yeah.
And so like that thing right there that you're talking about, it informed people.
Yeah.
And it's there's not a newspaper anymore. There aren't local reporters. There are, but it's just not as much as it used to be, right? And no discredit to the people that are still doing it. It's just the model has changed. Whereas before you had a printing press that was pumping out newspapers every day that would keep people informed.
And people would read it.
You don't have it no more.
Yeah.
And so you do have social media. People are looking at it. You can curse it if you want, but where do people get their information? And so what I've been tinkering with is trying to combine this model, which is a subscription model, which is much similar to the old newspaper, right? You had subscribers, but what else did the newspaper do? It had subscribers,
Advertise.
but it did advertising.
Yeah.
So it's taking that same model and trying to do something in a 21st century style. Our subscribers, I'm not giving them a newspaper, giving them something cultural to do. We're giving them events to do. We're mailing them gift cards each month from local restaurants, saying, hey, come try me. And on the advertising side, we help the local restaurants. They work with us and trade with us so that we can try to put people in their business. The business, people are coming in there and they're using their gift cards, but they're spending more usually, and it's a good return for the restaurant. But we're also doing it for other businesses as well. And, we go out and tell those businesses stories, but we also get those businesses to support something in the community and help us tell those stories, much like the newspaper. You'd sit there in the newspaper and you might read a section that's talking about sports, and at the top, you might see it an ad, right? It's what we're doing with the videos that we're doing. Because we think, or I think, and the team that's supporting me thinks that's important. And so, yeah, that little pamphlet I put in there with you, it does kind of give an overview of a backstory of this, if you will, in a paragraph, kind of going back to 20 years to now. In the fall, I've been working with ULM interns for a while, and we did an internship program this past summer, and we had several high school and
Is that the one that I told you about?
no. So now I looked into that, and as far as a payment form of it, and so any rate, it was just the timing didn't work. But
For last summer.
That's correct. Yeah, but it was still one of those things that it was like, all right, I need to do this now. So I think backing up a little bit and forward going, I think that is a hell of a resource to offset, the cost associated with this.
Well, and it's it's an opportunity for them too to make a relationship. Like I had 2 interns this summer, and Ellie Nagum and Ella Grace Bratton, and they were fantastic.
And Ellie's going to law school, isn't her intent?
Well, that's what her desire is.
Yeah.
But she's just started at LSU.
Okay.
And I understand she's doing fantastic. I run into her mom, and then I get an update about what she's doing.
Yeah.
Ella Grace is still in high school. But both bright,
great kids,
wonderful kids.
Yeah.
And they worked here for, I don't know, maybe 6-8 weeks this summer. I can't remember exactly how long. And they got to see some stuff. They helped me out. And I know that Ellie Nagum's probably going to be interested in coming back, like not maybe through that program, but coming back and, participating next summer, as a, summer intern, just a regular intern, like not a deal through that program.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought it was a really wonderful thing for the students, but it was great for me too, just to kind of get some help. They helped with a few little things here and there. I mean, they helped as much as they could help, but it was good too for the rest of my staff to have to explain like why we do certain things.
Get engaged,
because it keeps the people that help me with my cases like engaged with like, well, why are we doing that? That's a good question. Well, we're doing this because and instead of just like humdrum, there's a little.
Well, and it helps kids too know whether or not that is the path they want to go down, because I mean, there's no better advice than going and experience something to know whether or not that's the road you want to take.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you go shadow it for a couple months, you're going to know pretty quick whether or not this is something I'm going to commit next 8 years to, or 6 years to, or 12 years to, if you're going to be a surgeon or whatever it may be. So just to have that opportunity is, I don't know, it's awesome.
No,
and those kids that are at ULM now, the communication students, there aren't many newspapers out there they can go work at. So it's like, all right, well, where do you go?
What does a communications major do now?
A lot of PR. I mean, those positions are out there for folks, but it's tough, And so we'll see. But we actually just set up a studio on ULM's campus. Got some computers in there, and are working with them.
Building?
It's in the it's where the radio station is. It's literally right across from it.
Strauss?
No, is it
Stubbs?
Stubbs. Yeah.
Stubbs.
Yeah.
Strauss is the one right next to the library.
Studio 154.
Studio 54.
Studio 154, baby. I don't know if you met that character, the guy with the afro, the old 70s guy. I might have to bring him out of here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I got Studio 154, and we've got some green screen and some computers in there, and are going to be teaching them over the course of this coming spring and engaging them in this. So the little Allan out in the street, reporting on the news, that was a beta test, to see.
That's what
yes.
You're going to try to find some students to do that.
No, we are.
That's
that's
awesome.
what we're doing.
I
So
think
we'll start
people would
light.
much rather see
Yes.
college students than you.
Allan Brockman here with the Ramble News. And I had all this music going on too. I don't know. It's like, it's
could
amazing what you can find. Yeah.
You should definitely do the radio show. I don't know about the TV part.
Yeah. So, at any rate, there you go. But yeah, that's our intent. We're going to be reporting on kind of Chamber of Commerce updates from the local chambers and telling people, hey, these businesses opened or are opening. We're also going to continue doing our sports updates with Sean Fox, which you have been graciously supportive of.
Fantastic.
And so, you start
And I would
with
watch
sports
them for my own interest.
There you go. Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Well, thank you. And it's one of those things you spitball and you try it and you see, and the views were great. I mean, there are people, they watch this stuff and they, and
Is your son going to play football?
yeah.
So you're about to experience. He's not in high school.
No, not yet. No, he's 7th grade, so he'll be 8th grade. Yeah.
So Colby's in high school, and he was like, he got to start.
Yeah.
Like as a sophomore, and he actually got to play a good amount his freshman year too at St. Fred's, and this football season has been the most amazing, like fun time, like watching your own kid play.
Yeah.
It's just like a different level of
engagement,
interesting.
Yeah.
And so you're about to experience that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this.
And I already am kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, like even with 7th grade and 8th grade, like I'm all in. And my oldest is, well, not my oldest. My middle daughter's a senior at Neville. She's a cheer captain there, so she's, I'm all on the Neville ones kind of, and we did some stuff to help them promote during the playoffs, some stuff. So man, this area is crazy how like rich it is in football. I mean, from St. Frederick's or River Oaks, what they did this season, all the way to Neville, Ruston, Washita, with the dream season they did. It's amazing.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was listening to that game like on the edge of my seat, like hoping and praying that they would win. No offense, Ruston Bearcats, but I mean, I was hoping that they would win, but I just didn't think it was going to happen.
Wouldn't be denied, man. I think they went 0-4 straight in district towards the latter part of the season, and then they came back and never lost.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
When you really sit back and look at it.
Lost to West Monroe, Neville, Ruston, Ash. Got beat by maybe, on an average a touchdown of each of those teams.
Like, who did they win against?
Oh, the next game they went to Pineville and got up 56-0 at halftime, and then from there, they just
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable season.
That district is just silly.
Stacked.
And I had no, like my appreciation of it has grown so much from doing this stuff with Sean and these things to really get a perspective and seeing how much like these coaches, like you want to talk to somebody that works. I mean, like I'm, Sunday morning, 7 a.m., they're up there watching film. Saturday morning, 7. I mean, like, I don't know if the clock ever stops for those guys.
When you think about what a football coach does,
It's crazy.
I mean, dude, they're a counselor, they're a therapist, they're a doctor,
A promoter, a fundraiser.
they're a pastor, they're a motivational speaker,
a recruiter, a salesman.
A salesman. You know?
It's nuts.
I mean, it is crazy what those guys have to do just to survive.
Yeah. And I can't even imagine at the college level the pressure that comes with that because that never stops because you're always thinking, you're not only thinking about this game, but the portal, like the moving parts that are associated with that.
How you get in the money. It's all about the money. I mean,
it's crazy, man.
It's a lot of people, disagree with how it's done now or whatever. I'm not here to like say who's right or wrong. But I mean, what it is now is essentially distilled this whole thing into who's got the biggest pile of money or who's willing to spend the biggest pile of money. Because that's going to be your winner.
Yeah.
Pretty much every time.
But you got to have enough of a foundation to get there. I mean, you can have a bunch of stars, but if they don't align, you ain't got shit. I mean, I guess we can cuss on this thing, can't we? I mean, but it is, man. Yeah. Like the teams that have always really, they all still had to get aligned. Like even, what they're doing in LA with baseball right now, it took some alignment. And like right now, they really don't have time to get aligned. So it's like, I don't know how they,
It's amazing. I mean, like I watched, T.O. at St. Fred's, put that in, which, wow. I was so impressed with what he did, with very limited, roster.
Yep.
And, he's like literally all of those things. Like the kids get injured. And St. Fred's doesn't have
not much depth.
Yeah, not a lot. So it's like, okay, we gotta figure out what do
Well, you're all in it. You've been going. Yeah. I mean, you've been real supportive of ULM this year, haven't you? And in previous years, I mean, you're seeing it like you can see the trenches.
ULM, dude, it's like they don't got no money.
That's crazy what that guy's been able to do.
I mean, what? Yeah, I mean, before Coach Vincent got there, somebody told me that he had like $10,000 for NIL.
That doesn't get you much these days, does it? I mean, that's crazy.
And then you look at like what St. Fred's has. Like St. Fred's did a fundraiser and raised like $70,000 before the start of the season, and it's like ULM had $10,000.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it's like, how is that even like something's out of whack?
Yeah,
you know, like you would think, like the kids that actually have bills and stuff would, you know, we'd be able to raise more money for them, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things there that I don't know about, and I would love to hear from some people that do, but I don't think anybody's found the magic bullet yet, you know? And hats off to those that keep fighting the good fight, because that's what it is, man.
Well, maybe, I mean, it would be great if Meta would come in here and say, look, you know, we've got this university right here in our backyard, or we've got 3 universities right here in our backyard. Let's make incubators for things that could serve serve that organization.
Yeah,
and
they definitely have a vested interest now.
I mean, now they're in it, and you know, and I hear rumors. I don't know what's rumor and what's not, but it sounds like there's some other players that are potentially
more in the pipeline,
going to enter the market.
Okay.
I know somebody said that Meta acquired another parcel to do like a larger,
even more.
Yeah, south of the interstate. So,
well, I heard the budget went up a little bit, like $10 billion to what, $25 billion.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So the initial budget was $10 billion.
Is that how contractors like
$25 billion?
Hey, I don't mean
yeah.
10.
Yeah. By the way, have you looked at that flyer yet? I left you.
Is it a rate increase? What the hell?
Sorry. Look, here's just got some. Now here's some gift cards, but look, it's not $10 billion. It's gonna be $25 billion. I don't know how that works, but you know, but somehow it works. You know, but hey, it's the future. It's here, and at least somebody's scratching dirt over here.
Well, you know, everybody's afraid that, you know, I say everybody, like this is like the most probably obsessive topic of the day. Is like, what is AI going to do to, you know, our workforce?
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I use AI in my business.
Sure.
I'm sure you use it in yours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm hiring more people. I mean, I don't see it making me like
less
less
dependent
employees.
Yeah.
I think it's, hey, let's do more work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was actually talking to somebody about that earlier today, and they were saying it's like, because there are some professors in the university systems that are just adamantly against it, but then there's a couple that are like, well, how do we use it as a tool, right? Like, you know, how can we get our students involved and engaged to use this to be creative? And so I think it's, you know, I guess like any tool, you know, I mean, use it for the good, and then, you know, but be conscious of what can be used with the bad. Now, when we start seeing people's jobs disappear with it, you know, I don't know. I try to avoid a lot of the doomsday stuff.
Do you think that's happening?
Not yet. No. I mean, I still think there's a scarcity of labor. There's a scarcity of skilled labor for sure. So, I mean, if you're going to go be a tradesman, which people have been preaching forever, it's like, I don't see a robot fixing my toilet anytime soon.
That's what I was about to say. I don't see Mark Zuckerberg taking over Kelly Plumbing.
Or welding or, you know, electrical or trades, you know, just traditional trades.
Electrical, plumbing.
Yeah. And I think, you know, what's happened over the course of the past, you know, 50, 60 years is an exit from the trades into more of a college system to where everybody kind of took the medicine and said, go get a degree. There's going to be something waiting for you, you know, after that fact. And I think that pendulum's, you know, kind of shifting to where people realize, well, because, you know, and then when COVID occurred, you had all these online courses that happen, right? And they're still there. So you're still seeing, you know, people using the federal debt to go and get a degree, which is it helping you like it used to 50 years ago? You know, maybe it depends on what you're doing, you know.
And I guess who Who determines who takes that path versus?
I mean, ultimately, the person's responsible for making the decision, but it's kind of like, what are they being pushed to do? And I mean, back when I was graduating high school, trade schools weren't saying, hey, we need you, or you can come out and make just as much money as a welder as you can as a first year person out of med school or something, I mean, with no debt or whatever it may be. And I don't know those numbers for fact, but a welder, if they're willing to travel and go work a pipeline, can make a hell of a lot of money right now.
Oh yeah.
And asking plumbers and electricians or carpenters or whatever it may be.
I heard there was like a journeyman electrician, which is like basically a fully licensed, like an electrician that can work independently, can in Washington State could make like $250,000 a year, and it's like there's a lot of doctors that don't make $250,000 a year. There's definitely a lot of lawyers that don't make $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Absolutely.
And I mean, and that's just the guy doing the work.
And it's supply and demand, man.
Not the guy employing the guy doing the work.
I know. Yeah.
So
right. I get it. I do. Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's I don't think any of that stuff's going away, and I think if anything, the AI is gonna help us.
Well, I think it can, and I think it's out of the box, and so it's just. But there will be, I'm sure, some efficiencies made across some whatnot. I mean, people are going to find shortcuts. The ones that own the businesses are going to find ways to make those businesses more profitable. And if it's a corporation, the corporation's job is to make profits. So, they're going to use it where they can. You use it where you can. I use it where you can. But you're seeing your labor cost still hadn't gone down. And, likewise, I think it's just you may get more productivity out of one person using it as a tool because it can spit some stuff out pretty amazingly fast that you otherwise would have been spending hours to craft some letter, whereas you can just give it the parameters and then all of a sudden, flop, there it is.
I went to a continuing education thing this week, earlier this week, last week or whatever. And Judge Danny Ellender, Second Circuit Court of Appeals judge, he gave a presentation. One of the sessions was his presentation on AI and the use in the courts. And he kind of highlighted this case where a lawyer had unfortunately used ChatGPT, like a generic, I think it was ChatGPT, but I know it was a generic, like free AI language model source for information about it, like writing a brief on a case. And the AI hallucinated a case name and like basically
That wasn't even accurate.
crafted an argument, kind of like instead of intuitively reasoning to the argument, it like deducted like, okay, this is what you're going to need a case to say, and it created a fake case that said that. Huh. And it's like, wow, look at that! It's a perfect,
interesting, yeah,
round peg for the round hole, But he didn't. I say he or she didn't.
So what happened to the attorney?
So the attorney,
what do they do with him?
So the trial court, the opposing lawyer filed a motion for sanctions. This is something that happened in like one of these South Louisiana courts where the lawyers like eat their own,
Yeah. Okay. Just happened in Louisiana.
Cannibalism thing happening. Yeah. Not that anything like that would happen up here, but and then, so motion for sanctions, and then the trial court awarded sanctions in favor of the requesting party, the moving party, in the amount of like $2,500. And then the lawyer that lost filed an appeal. And I'm sitting here thinking, whenever Judge Ellender is telling us about this case, like, why did they file the appeal? You're just asking. And I don't remember what the final outcome was, but the sanctions stuck. Stuck. Like they didn't reverse the trial court's decision.
So basically, I mean, the judge just kind of went through it and then figured out like this is all bullshit.
Yeah. Everybody did. Everybody
this is like just a fake case.
Basically, you're making shit up in my courtroom right now.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Here's what I'll say to that. Okay. Like, bad on them for doing that.
But it looked good.
Bad on them for doing that. I think the just thing was that the court was able to realize that it wasn't a good source for authority concerning that point of law or whatever. And that's wonderful for our justice system to be able to recognize that. But here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the first time that the lawyers made some shit up in the courtroom.
Sure. This is just maybe the first time a computer helped him.
You know?
Right.
And I would dare say, like, that's bad.
Yeah.
But it could be a lot. It's not, this isn't like the first time.
Yeah.
Like, let's don't pretend like this is just a new thing that suddenly started happening that, like, lawyers make things up. And I've had cases, you know, I'm not going to give you a specific case or person, but I've had cases where I've encountered stuff like that, totally not related to AI, just like the lawyer being dishonest with a point of law. And it's like, I just go argue the case in the motion. I mean, I don't file a motion for sanctions on that. Like, maybe I could, or maybe that would be available, but it's like, you know, I get the sense that a motion for sanctions in that situation isn't necessarily going to be receptive by the judge. And it's, I mean, it's like if the judge wants to do it, great, you know, but I mean, that is definitely not what that case says. Like, he's trying to create a square peg out of that round peg to go in the square hole, and it ain't a square peg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one thing to use AI as a tool. It's another thing to use AI to build your house, right? Yeah. I mean, so, and, you know, can't say, oh, here you go, judge. You know, I rest my case. It's like, wait a second, man. You got an issue here, buddy. There was no Flintstone versus what? That's it.
Fred Flintstone versus Will Flintstone.
It's it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. I don't know, you know, and for the kids, you know, we'll see.
I mean, that's 20 years ago with the internet, though. I mean,
there you go.
I mean, we didn't all just evaporate. So
no, and it hasn't monumentally changed my life in any way. Now, I think they're forecasting in 10, 15, 20 years it will. And, you know, maybe I'm sitting here, instead of me sitting here at some, you know, hologram of me sitting here with some AI spitted stuff coming at you, and you and I are just sitting at a beach somewhere with VR glasses on, you know, having this virtual conversation or something. Who knows? I don't know. But it could be worse. Yeah, I don't know, man. But, you know, I think people still need to come together. People still need attorneys. People still need guidance from people. And, you know, people need people. I think COVID, the one thing, it's always, what are your three basic needs, right? And it's food, shelter, clothing. Well, there's a fourth one. And I think COVID taught us that. It's like, you stick a baby out in the woods without food, shelter, clothing. Okay. Well, who's going to feed it? Who's going to shelter it? Who's going to clothe it? It's a person. And people need people. And I think all this AI stuff and what you're seeing, even with social media, and I think we live in a world that has largely been hugely influenced by, obviously, technology, and a lot of developers of technology, I would say, are highly introverted. I mean, a lot of them, I would think, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, to create tools, but I think it's, you know, we've come to a time now and we're kind of at a crossroads. And I think there is going to be a pushback at some point to where people realize the amount of time that people spend on their devices is, you know, I don't know what it is, but I mean, you know, it took them years to figure out that smoking gives you lung cancer. So, you know, and I think in years we'll figure out, you know, what this has done to us. But I mean, you can see it in society. You can see it when you're looking at this BS, and you can see it when you're looking at the TV, because it's affected television media. It's, you know, it's like, hey, which hate channel do you want to watch? You know, flip a coin, you know, and then it's like they're watching mirrors of each other. I don't care which side you are. They all just spewing, you know, you're spewing, man. And it's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not healthy for this country.
And people obsess about things. And it's like,
well, it's
when you
anger.
break it down, it's like the amount of influence that this actually has in your real life.
Nothing.
Minor.
But if you're one of those people that doesn't have much going on and you're just sitting on the couch and you flip it on and that's what you've come to that point in your life, well, can fire you up and get you pissed off. And then you go sit there and noodle away on some of this and
you
make somebody mad.
You look at those people's feeds and it's like post after post after post after post of like, talking point from whichever news channel that you're.
That's it. Yeah, it's just regurgitated. But, so
maybe
what we're trying to do with this thing, and you've been part of it, is to get away from all that BS and get people together, break bread, have some fun, enjoy some music, and forget about all that BS and just enjoy life. And, ironically, we're using this to tell people about it, but how the hell's, what are you going to do? Put it in the newspaper? I mean,
Well, it's
so, and so I think there is good that can come out of the tools. I do.
Well, I think, and here's what I'd say too, to kind of in support of the Ramble efforts. I know what you're talking about when you say you put on those parties and like something kind of like touched you and you're like, wait a minute,
it's something. It's
like,
magic in a bottle. It doesn't have a price. I mean, it's truly priceless. But when you get people you get white, black people, old, young people, from all economic backgrounds, all political backgrounds, in your backyard that night, man. I've been wanting to do something. So for listeners that haven't done this, John was gracious enough. For forever, I've been wanting, so with this Ramble thing, we celebrate Northeast Louisiana lifestyle. And some of y'all may knock it, be like, hey, what lifestyle? Well, when I first moved back here, well, not first, I've gone and kind of come back multiple times, but we were in Nashville for a while, loved it. And then couldn't get the TV show going or whatnot, if you will, and brought back some friends of mine from Nashville whom I met and brought them here and took them duck hunting and took them out on the bayou and took them on the river and took them trail ride. And they were like, holy smoly, man, why did you leave this place? This is absolutely amazing. And at that time, I got my tail between my legs. I'm coming home. My idea didn't work out, but I'm like, you know what? Wow. To hear y'all say this, because this is 10, 12 years ago, and they live in Nashville, Tennessee, which has been blowing up since then, and even was at the time then. But for them to come here, and they grew up there, and they come here and they're like, you can go duck hunt in the morning on an ATV ride, then go to your office and call it a day at 4 or whatnot. And you've got all these resources that are here. And that hit me, man. And that inspired me to not just be, this sucks, kind of this place, because that's what people, no matter what you are or where you are, there you are. Okay. No matter where you are, there you are. No matter where you go, there you'll be. I think that's the way I used to say it. But I guess my point is you go to Nashville from here and you fall in love with that place and you meet a bunch of guys from Nashville. It's like, yeah, well, it sucks. The traffic is this. And back then it was this. And it's like, all right, well, then you come to Monroe and you meet people who are born and raised here. And it's just, it's people, it's just it's who we are. But it's kind of like you can go with that narrative or you can swim upstream and try to do something a little different. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do since I've been here, man. And it's lonely at times, but you got to have a creative imagination, because I see what it can be is that we've got resources in our rivers and our bayous that we don't utilize. You were gracious enough to let us use that to show people that, look, what can happen. We all go out there and we have a good time. We get on boats and go ride. That, in my mind, that bayou sitting there is a community resource that's just untapped. The river is a community resource untapped. It's like we don't use it for what it could be.
How many people did we take on the bayou that night?
Well, we had 4 party barges running anywhere from 10 to 12 people, and they probably made, I'd say, 120.
That's pretty cool.
Be my guess. And one of those guys, now this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but somebody saw a house that had been on the market on that bayou for years.
I think we have to make an announcement.
Well, we can't say their name, but that did happen, right?
And it led to the largest real estate transaction for a residential home in Northeast Louisiana in history.
There you go. And that happens. That's because
you're a big part.
You're a part of it
you're
too.
A part of that.
And we're both a part of it. So good. Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about.
See, but seriously. That's it. You get people out there. They enjoy life. They get out there and they see damn, this is great.
Maybe
Now-
you should be a realtor or something.
I used to be that. Sell tacos, burritos, music, whatever, man. I got it all. I got houses. I used to sell houses.
Somebody call John Ray. He can advertise.
Oh, I've tried. I'm working on them. But no, man. I mean, it's like it's the truth, though. It's like, we got this resource that's sitting there, and nobody's out there on it except for the 4th of July or maybe whatever. But that's the vision of this thing is a way that we can create something where we can all use that stuff and have some fun together every now and then. That's what I'd like it to be. I only got one of me, so I need some help. And so I'm leaning on you guys to try to help that. I've got some kids now helping from the university, and we want to do more stuff like that. So we're going to have some more frequent things coming into the new year. We'll have some socials, a little sunset, like hiking and trail rides / guitar picking, just a couple hours in the evenings once a month out at the barn. And if y'all are game with it, we'll do the one again at y'all's house, in the backyard. We're not in your house proper. But I mean, that's awesome. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Maybe
and
don't go into my master bathroom.
No, we're staying out of that. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's fun though, man.
No, it really was.
It was a special night.
Well, and that's what I was saying though too. Like that evening, it was such a memory for my family, and
That's
like,
cool.
We had such a good time, like hosting everybody, and like most people we knew,
Yeah.
but there were a handful of people that I got to know or met that I really didn't never have met before.
So we had like half there that were your friends, and then the other half were the Ramble folks that were just there along for the ride.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
It was fantastic.
It's perfect. It was
really
great.
was.
It was. And because I'd been wanting to incorporate the boats in with it for a while. And so it was awesome. And then we had a lot of people that volunteered their boats. Hey, we'll come take some people around. We had like 4 different boats with captains, and it was awesome, man.
Steve Taylor, Butch Mulhern. You were driving one of the boats.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the other one?
Deshay brought his
Deshay
Sims. Yeah.
Deshay Sims.
Yeah.
And they had a great time too.
It was awesome. And he met a lot of people. And they had a great time because they were taking people out on the bayou that a lot of them had never been out there, man.
I remember hearing Steve Taylor tell me that he had a conversation with one of the people that rode with him about how they'd never seen the bayou before, and like thanked him profusely for like the experience, and like just. I mean,
and you meet people with it.
He felt great about the whole thing,
and that's the thing, man. It's the same thing that the guys from Nashville smacked me over the head with. Like when you show people something that you kind of forget to appreciate, and they appreciate it, it makes you appreciate it again. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes you.
Yeah,
realize.
it's like, hey, this is, that's cool because you're blessed, and we do have good things around here, and and so I mean, I'm optimistic. So yeah,
I think the future of the Ramble is bright.
We're gonna keep rolling with it, and ladies and gentlemen, you can get appetizers for $25 a month. You can get up your business stuff for $50 a month, or come see me if you want to talk about media advertising. We have anything can fit your boat. We've got a nice little brochure. I got a digital way I can text it to you.
So can we look forward to any future specific
events,
topics of the future posts, the video posts that you
I think we're going to have one going out in the very immediate future on the Salvation Army and Captain Casey. We'll keep doing our sports. It's going to pivot to, baseball and spring sports here pretty soon. I'm just trying to think. We got some more restaurants in the pipeline that we're about to put out. So we do, overviews with the restaurants, kind of cultural pieces.
I know I've seen you want to do one on, did you Cotton and the Warehouse,
We've
Geno's?
Cotton Warehouse, Geno's, Beef and Barrel, Doe's, Randall's, Delta Biscuit, Catfish Charlie's, Flying Tiger, Apero. Man, I mean, there's more. I think, any rate, I got more in my head, but I don't have them all off the top of my head.
Like little mini documentaries, and you get like a little taste of
Yeah, we'll give them, hey, here's the backstory, but then we can also come in and just keep people informed of, hey, check out our catering, or check out this, or check out that. And it's advertising, but it's done in a way that, I think it seems a little more natural. I mean, it's the owner of the restaurant or somebody that's,
The
committed
local
to
person.
it, talking about it. And so that way, like the first one we did was with, actually the first one I did was the Blue Taco guy. And that was hysterical.
Oh, man.
We were going to
Casey
have,
Sanders?
yeah, dude, Casey. Yeah. And I showed up over there. This was like when I was just kind of going with this idea. And I showed up at he had it parked in front of some tire changing place in West Monroe. And I had all my gear over there to go film this interview with Casey. And I mean, once he started talking, zip, 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 I'm like, oh no, man, what am I doing here? I'm sitting out there on the road of North 7th Street or Cypress, like
like
11:30 a.m.
Impact Wrench.
Cars driving by. I'm like, oh, what am I doing, man? But I didn't give up. And then at the same time, like a week before, I went and interviewed this musician because we were going to have this party at the barn with Casey doing the Blue Taco, this musician coming from Clarksdale. And I go and I interview the musician and like I ask like the most generic question, like, tell me about your music or like, just some stupid thing like that. And I think he'd done something recreational probably not long before this interview. So he goes on this long-winded like thing. And I swear to God, he probably talked, sorry, Lord, but I mean, he talked like a lot longer than I've talked on this and just like nonstop. And I'm like, how am I going to edit this? I mean, how am I possibly going to take this? So that was my, like, and this is, when I kind of made the decision like, I'm going to do this. We're going to march forward and make these videos and kind of tie it in with these events. And, but we've gotten better. Yeah, we've gotten a lot better. And your dad and your aunt, it was an awesome one to do. And all of a sudden, to see like how big of an impact that has like on the community, man, it's crazy. People love their local restaurants.
Yeah. I mean, Geno's hasn't really advertised over the years, and ironically, the son of Geno's has a marketing degree, and it's like they never did anything marketing. Like they just made food. You know? Like,
Yeah, it's good food,
But-
and it's they got their. I'm going to do a nose itch, okay? I feel my nose itching, so I don't know if you can cut that out of there or not. I had an itch on my nose. No, but yeah, we got that, and I'm trying to think what else we got in the pipeline. I mean, there's so many stories that are out there that we could tell on the community, whether it's schools or, a lot of.
Like I've seen
tons of-
first responder
Yep.
stuff was really interesting.
Yeah.
Chief Zorden.
Yep.
Which I still haven't. One of my goals for the next year is to get Chief Zorden in here because
Yeah.
like Monroe PD is absolutely. I don't want to say killing it. That's not the right.
Yeah.
But
They care, man.
they're doing great.
They got a lot of
I
people
mean,
that care.
it's
They have a
amazing.
lot of people, and OPSO too, and Westman. I mean, like people that are in that line of work, and not only, I mean, first responders. A lot of these people. It's just, I mean, it kind of goes back to the football coach thing. It's like people that they're doing it for the gig. I mean, they're doing it because they care about the job and the people that they work with, and the people they protect and they serve. And man, there's a lot of honor that goes behind that.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, in today's age, you see, a bad apple getting caught and then it taints the water for everybody else. But that's the traditional media.
Well,
you know?
it's good. And here's what I'd say too: it's good that we see the bad apples getting caught because that means there's some accountability in
Yeah.
the system. And no, I'm not saying that we always need to have a sacrificial lamb or anything like that either. But I mean, people that do good work should be rewarded.
Agreed.
And both with acknowledgement and validation, and also financially. And some people they hate to see somebody do well financially. It's like if somebody works their butt off, they ought to earn a good living. If they do good work, they ought to make good money.
Mhm.
Period. And it's like there's so many people that just want to tear down anybody that's successful. It's like that's not the way I think.
Well, and if you look at a lot of communities that have thrived, that's collectively not the way that they think.
On the back end of that though, it's good to see not good to see bad apples, but it's good to see there be some accountability.
Yeah.
And that there's some actual consequences to making the wrong choice. Not saying that should be the end of their life, but that there's
Checks and balances.
some checks and balances, and that's what I think I think that's what we're all called. That's what my profession's about, really.
Yeah.
is checks and balances.
Yeah.
So not just checks. I wish it was just about the checks.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know it. Telling you, man. Well, you're doing good on both accounts, and I appreciate you supporting because you are, you're putting it back in the community, man, and that's kudos to you. And I appreciate the heck out of you seeing what I've been doing and coming along from day one that we talked about this and supporting it, because a lot of people that I know that I may have grown up with, I talk to them about it. They look at me like I'm a Martian, like, has Allan lost his mind? It's like, no, but I'm not going to sit here and be, negative. I just do what I do because it's just who I am. And if I don't tend to be who I am, I do get negative and I do go down a dark spot, and I don't like that. Yeah. So, and it can be exhausting, right? To continuously swim upstream. But it beats drowning,
I mean, I think you're giving value to this community with what you're doing. I want to acknowledge that. And
Appreciate it.
And I think you deserve some validation. I mean, really, I didn't think about it until just this moment, but I don't know why we can't say their name. Dawn and Kelly Barkley bought that house.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the largest recorded residential acquisition in Northeast Louisiana. And I think what you did had something to do with the fact that it happened.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying that you wrote the check.
you helped too. We just need to see if we can have a party in their backyard.
I know,
and
right?
have 8 boats this time and 240 people.
That's right.
Because they got a big backyard.
You hear that, Dawn and Kelly?
Yeah, it's it. Yeah. Tag them. No, and I hope they, I don't know, man. There's some, it's amazing what you can do with the resources you got once you start working them together and sharing them, because, we do. There's a lot of reasons. And it's like the kid with the toy that doesn't have anybody to play with, he gets jaded, and, sometimes I drive across the bayou and see all these fancy boats sitting there not on the water. And it's like, well,
Well, your neighbors get mad at you anytime you put your boat on the water.
You got too much weight, man. You got sandbags in there filled up with 400 pounds, drowning them all.
Hey, I've got a 1996 Mastercraft.
Oh, you do? Okay. So
I
you're
feel
good.
like-
You're
yeah.
good.
So
you're good.
Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have any modifications on
There
it.
you go.
But,
Yeah, you're good. No, it's awesome. I like my buddy Deshay, and he's like a kid out there every time they go cruising, and he loves it, and I get it. And it's all because he grew up in Rayville and then comes here and was like, oh, this is absolutely awesome. So they're out there, all the time.
All the time.
And it's awesome.
I love seeing them out there.
Yeah.
And his kids out there and like wakeboarding
Yeah.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
like, we're trying to do flips.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. See, he and I used to live across the street together, and our boys were about a year apart, and they've all kind of grown up together, and at JGS, and then now they're at Neville Junior High together. So it's I don't know, it's a special community, man, and appreciate you having me on this and sharing with you my account.
Well,
it's
looks like you changed your logo up a little bit.
I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. Yeah, I'm trying to look at it. They say that blue is a little bit more professional looking than the sky blue that I've traditionally been using.
Okay.
So that's the word on the street. Yeah, I changed a little up. You like that?
I like it, man.
It says a North Delta Ramble. It's all right. What I put it in here? I'm gonna read it to you. It's like
So I heard
today the Ramble. Wait. Here we go. Let me go. The short-term goal is to establish the North Delta Ramble as a student media outlet that promotes local organizations, businesses, and culture, reports on community news, and produces private and public events. Think late 20th century college radio plus early days Kurt Loder MTV plus PBS with a little bit of P.T. Barnum flair.
Ralph Waldo Brockman.
There you go. That's it. I wear many hats. Sell real estate, burritos, whatever it takes. But I don't know. I think ultimately the common denominator at the end of the day is trying to figure out a way to bring people together and have fun with that. And that's what I enjoy doing. And so, it is what it is.
Keep doing it.
I will. I will. I will. Yeah. Somehow, at the end of the day, it's just me with a guitar at a nursing home, in there. I'll be doing it.
Doing the Ramble in a nursing home.
That's right.
Be a Georgia Tucker.
There you go. It's perfect. I'm telling you, man. Yeah. No, we'll have some fun. And if anybody wants to figure out what we do, it's called the North Delta Ramble, and it's been a fun little evolution over the past couple decades of raising kids, and I do have a regular job that enables me to do all this stuff. So I've been blessed, and if it wasn't for the support of my family and my dad, and who has done some pretty amazing things in his lifetime, I wouldn't have the ability and the luxury to be able to afford putting time into this. So, I got to send hats off to them for their patience and support, and letting me be me, and let me do these things because it's a big part of it.
That's awesome, dude.
It's true.
Well, check it out, everybody.
Yeah.
And thanks for
Thank you,
for
John.
coming on.
I'm gonna go enjoy mine. Now you go out.
I hope you can
go
send me a
enjoy
text
these.
later
Look at all
tonight.
this. Look at this. Look, may these gift cards
that.
rain down upon
What
you.
does this say?
Oh, that's cheap. Don't worry about them. Thank you, man.
All right.
That was fun.